So I just wanted to make a quick video about Google's new Chromecast. It was going to be a review. I was going to record this actually last night because there weren't really any reviews for it yet because it literally was just announced. Today is October 1st, and it was just announced 2 days ago, and I got it yesterday, so they shipped it. I guess they have, Google has some sort of a warehouse in Chicago, which is only like a few hours away from me, so I got it overnight with just the standard shipping, so I got it really quickly, and I was going to do a review and put it up on YouTube. However, I just didn't have time to use it until now, so it's only a day later, but I just wanted to say how I think that I'm a big fan of the Chromecast. Definitely, I've had the original since it came out, and I think it's a great streaming device. A lot of people that I know don't have it, and I think their reasons would probably be they use a game console like Xbox or PlayStation, or of course their smart TV, or maybe they even have a Roku. However, I don't think people realize how nice the Chromecast really is. I've also seen a lot of things online where people have things against it, but I don't see how you can go wrong. It's $35 and it performs. For instance, let's say if you wanted to pull up a video on your Xbox. Well, you have to turn on the Xbox. You got to take your controller. You got to fumble through this kind of clunky interface with a clunky keyboard. Pull up a video, with a smart TV or maybe a Roku. You have to use their remote and also, go through their clunky, it's always kind of a slower interface, I think. And it's just, I think that people don't really use, watching YouTube or listening to Pandora on their TV as much as they would if they had a Chromecast, because I'll be on my phone or on my computer watching a YouTube video, and even in the middle of the video I decide, I actually want to watch this on a bigger screen. Press one button, it's up in a matter of seconds on the TV. You don't have to do anything different. You just use the same, smooth apps or the YouTube.com itself. There's no remote, there's no clunky interface. It's just so much easier and quicker, I think. And that's what the Chromecast 1 did really well, I think. So it was just an all-around, good device. It's really simple, and I think that's why a lot of people don't like it. I've seen a lot of reviews online that come up with, there's just not enough to it. But you don't need a lot to it, and you're not paying a premium price. I think you're getting still more than what you pay for. It's $35. What do you expect? Anyways, that being said. So yeah, the Chromecast 1, love it. I didn't see a reason, I still don't, we'll get into that, but I've never seen a reason to upgrade. It couldn't really do what it does any better. So the only reason that I got one, the second one here, is just because, why not? Again, it's $35. I saw it announced. I didn't even know anything about it. I'm just like, let's place an order before they go, out of stock. Because the first Chromecast, there was a stocking issue because so many people ordered it. So I'm just like, let's place an order. Let's, I can't go wrong. This way, I have another Chromecast for if I want to use it on a different TV or something. So that's what I did. And so yeah, I got it yesterday. I plugged it in, and it's a Chromecast. What can I say? It's the exact same thing. There's absolutely no reason to upgrade. I also forgot to mention that they released the Chromecast and the Chromecast Audio. And the Chromecast Audio is really cool because it's the same thing pretty much as the Chromecast, but it's for speakers. So let's say you have, a speaker with a 3.5mm headphone jack. You plug it into the Chromecast Audio, and any speaker at all, any dumb speaker becomes a smart speaker, which is really cool. You can cast, Pandora to speakers. That's cool. That's really cool. But to the Chromecast itself here, it's really not. Of course, get it if you don't have a Chromecast. That's a no-brainer. But as an upgrade, or even I don't really know if I see a reason for them to have come out with a new one. I guess because they decided to come out with Chromecast audio, and you know, and they just maybe wanted to refresh the design since they're coming out with that. Makes sense, but it's still, it might have been hyped up a little bit too much because it's not really a sequel, and I guess they still didn't market it as a sequel, which is good. It's just a Chromecast. But what I don't like is the things that they said about it. I think, what was it? One, that it starts up faster, like loads videos faster, I guess. And two, that it is that there's a new app for it. So the new app, the problem with that is that it's not even, they released the thing, but the app isn't even out. At least I don't think it's, I think it's out on Android, but not yet on iOS, which is really dumb. Like, okay, so I can't use any of the new features. Like, it's kind of like a Roku interface, but on your phone. Like, you can pull up, you can search for movies, and it'll pull up like what streaming service has that movie for the cheapest, and it's kind of nice to have a little companion there. I don't know if I'll use it, but it was definitely kind of something that I wanted to try out. Again, though, that's something that I don't know if they're going to allow that to work with the original Chromecast or not, but that's hardly worth a new device for, because, again, it's something they could have just, it's just an app, you know. But yeah, then there was the faster loading. Now, they have some new Wi-Fi bands in here for the latest Wi-Fi standards, so that makes sense that it might be a little faster. But in my experience, it's not at all faster. And that's to say, I mean, I don't have the latest Wi-Fi router or anything, so that's understandable. But I think that they said that it was going to be faster, like starting up and loading your videos, something like that. I guess I probably should have looked into it a little more, but here's what my issue with this is I think they were kind of they're trying to fool you by thinking it loads up faster, because their intention is for it to always be on. Now, if you have an original Chromecast and you don't have a USB port in your TV, then they have an included wall adapter that you plug that USB port into, and then you plug that into the wall. Then it'll always be on. The Chromecast will always be running, and it'll work the same way. However, if you plug it into the TV's USB port, the Chromecast will turn off when the TV turns off, because there's no more power being put to it. When I bought this Chromecast 2, I looked at the specifications, and unlike the Chromecast 1, it only said that it allowed wall power. Like, it could only be plugged into the wall, not the USB on your TV. And I was a little stumped. I'm like, well, did they increase the power output of this? Like, I don't get it. Are they just not mentioning that you can use? Because that was a little weird, because I don't like my Chromecast to always be on, because that's just decreasing the life of the device. There's no reason for it to always be on. It doesn't take that long to boot up. So, you know, to my surprise, when I got it, it was in the box, and it had the wall adapter, and the USB was plugged into it. It was just plugged into it. I don't think the original was like that. And so I immediately tried to unplug it. I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a USB port. So I'm like, I wonder if it'll work. So I plugged it into my TV, and bam, it works. My theory is that they don't want you to know that you can plug it in. This time around, they don't want you to know that you can plug it directly into your TV's USB port if you have one. And that's how they're saying that it's faster to boot up, because it's always, no matter what TV you have, it's always on. That's my thought. And you know, granted, I could just plug it into a wall port, but you know, it's not like it takes a long time to turn on anyway, and it's just like, if I might be looking at this whole thing all wrong, maybe I read it wrong, or I don't know, but it seems like they're marketing it a little bit cheaply. Because as far as I've noticed, you know, plugged into the USB and everything, it's exactly the same. There's nothing different about it. It's just, you know, it's not that it's slow. The Chromecast has always been snappy enough for me. but there's no speed difference that I've been able to find. Again, I don't have the latest Wi-Fi, but I have decent Wi-Fi. There's nothing at all different that I see about it, you know, at all so far. And again, I don't have the app because it's not out. So, I'm disappointed maybe with it, in a sense, at least the way that they marketed it. But I'm not disappointed in it as a device, because it's still the Chromecast that I know and love. I didn't need an improvement with it. Again, I didn't go out and buy it because I was expecting an upgrade. I just, you know, I just did it. I just bought it just to see what it was like. And, you know, it's not a huge deal, I guess, just aside from them maybe saying that, oh, it does this better than the original. If they're just refreshing it and they're not saying, like, oh, this is the next model up, like, this is the... It's just the Chromecast. I think that's how it should be looked at. It is not the Chromecast 2. It's just the Chromecast, but they just, you know, manufacturer-wise, they just updated it. There's no other Chromecast. This is just the Chromecast. And it works. It works that way. And, you know, in the future when the app comes out and people with better Wi-Fi, it might be better. But overall, I know it's kind of negative, what I've been saying, but I do love it. I love the device. I don't regret my purchase because of the reasons I said. I just got it because I got it. Now I have 2 Chromecasts, and you know, both of them, great devices. You can't go wrong with either one. And yeah, that is that. So yeah.